In 1930, the Republican-controlled House of Representatives, in an effort to alleviate the effects of the, anyone? The Great Depression, passed the, anyone? A tariff bill, the Hawley-Smoot Tariff Act, which, anyone, raised or lowered? Raised tariffs in an effort to collect more revenue for the federal government. Did it work? Anyone? Anyone know the effects? It did not work, and the United States sank deeper into the Great Depression. Today, we have a similar debate over this. Anyone know what this is, class? Anyone? Anyone seen this before? The Laffer curve. Anyone know what this says? It says that at this point on the revenue curve, you will get exactly the same amount of revenue as at this point. This is very controversial. Does anyone know what Vice President Bush called this in 1980? Anyone? Something DOO economics. Voodoo economics.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here. This symbol, commonly called a yin-yang symbol, is a taijitsu, meaning diagram of the supreme ultimate. The principle of yin and yang, opposites existing in harmony, is associated with ancient Chinese philosophy, but the very first use of the iconography, the classic symbol, actually comes from a shield pattern used by the ancient Romans 700 years before its first known use in China. A connection between the two has yet to be found. Regardless of who came up with it first, the symbol was a bright idea. But what's the brightest object in the entire universe? Well, apparent magnitude, commonly used when stargazing, refers to how bright an object appears to us, say when looking up from Earth. It depends on Earth-centric factors like how close the object is to our planet. Magnitudes are logarithmic and arranged like golf, where a smaller number means a greater brightness. But today, I'm looking for absolute magnitude, a measure of how bright things all over the universe, near and far, would be if we looked at them from the same distance. Absolute magnitude will guide us to the most blinding light in the universe, irrespective of it looking faint to us here on Earth just because it's far away. The difference is significant. A 100-watt light bulb placed closer than 8 centimeters, about 3 inches from your eye, will appear brighter than the sun in the sky. But that's not fair. If you could see the sun and the bulb from the same distance, the sun would be a septillion times brighter. That's bright. But the sun shines punily compared to the rest of the cosmos. If you could line the sun up with everything else out there, giving every star and cosmological phenomenon a fair chance, the sun's absolute magnitude would be 4.8. Not bad, but check out R136A1. This nuclear-fueled beast isn't the biggest star in terms of volume, but it's 256 times more massive than our sun. It's the most massive star ever found, and it's also the brightest. Remember that lower absolute magnitudes are brighter. R136A1 isn't 4.8 like our sun. It is negative 12.6, which means it is 8.7 million times brighter than our own sun. But R136A1 isn't the brightest thing out there. When a giant star dies, it explodes violently in what is known as a supernova or hypernova. As I mentioned in my video, How Hot Can It Get?, supernovas can eject terrifying flashes of radiation known as gamma ray bursts, arguably the brightest electromagnetic events in the universe. A typical gamma ray burst releases as much energy in a few seconds as our sun will release all together in its entire 10 billion year lifetime. If WR104, a gamma-ray burst future candidate, directly struck Earth with such a beam for only 10 seconds, astronomers predict it could deplete 25% of our ozone layer and lead to mass extinction and starvation. The largest thermonuclear bomb ever detonated didn't do anything close to that, and it was exploded right here in our atmosphere. Whereas WR104 is 8,000 light years away. You can't even see it with your naked eye or a pair of binoculars. But gamma ray bursts are merely brief events lasting only a few minutes at most, sometimes just a matter of milliseconds. If you want the brightest, sustained thing, you'll paradoxically have to look at the darkest thing: black holes. To be fair, dark matter is ostensibly darker, but because dark matter has been hypothesized to not even interact with light, with electromagnetism at all, calling dark matter not bright is kind of like calling your peanut butter sandwich a not fast airplane. It's not really even the same category. Black holes, however, do interact with light, reflecting so little, well, they don't let any escape, at least not in a form resembling the way it came in. That's dark. But the intense energies created by black holes in the process of eating things like stars is anything but dark. Gas and debris from the stars they eat swirl into archipluvian cosmic gallows known as accretion disks before making their final death plunge into the black hole. In the disk, debris spins at unfathomable speeds, pulled around by a black hole billions of times more massive than our sun. Friction in the accretion disk generates heat on a level difficult to fully appreciate. Just as hot things glow, the disk does too, so brightly it has its own name: a quasar. Quasars shine thousands of times more brightly than even the brightest stars. I'm kidding. It's scarier than that. Quasars shine thousands of times more brightly than galaxies containing billions of stars. The first identified quasar, 3C273, has an absolute magnitude of -26.7, making it 4 trillion times brighter than our sun, about 100 times more luminous than the total amount of light produced by the entire Milky Way. If you put 3C273 33 light years away from us, it would shine as brightly as our sun, a mere 8 light minutes away. Blocking the brightness of a quasar with a coronagraph reveals that quasars exist in the centers of galaxies that are larger than them in area, but are nonetheless drowned out by their light. Such galactic centers are called active galactic nuclei, the bulk of their energy spewing forth in the form of a powerful radiation jet, the length of which puts even our solar system to shame. The visible part of the jet in this photograph, for instance, is so long it could stretch from the Sun to Pluto and back 1.5 million times. Now, specifically, if a large portion of this ejected energy heads toward Earth, it's responsible for what we call a quasar. But if Earth is right in the active galactic nucleus's sights, it's got a scarier name: a blazar. And it's blazar 3C454.3 that clocked in the greatest brightness ever observed. At historically high levels of activity, it registered an absolute magnitude of -31.4. To put the brightness of quasars in yet another perspective, take a look at the 100,000th picture snapped by the Hubble telescope. This is a star a few hundred light years away, and this thing looks just about as bright, but it is a quasar 9 billion light years away. Why are quasars so far away? Well, a quasar is not forever. They are billions of light years away, which means the light we receive from them.
Welcome to the greatest show on earth. Prepare to be amazed. Please welcome your host for this evening, Mr. Flat Earth Man.
Thank you. Listen up. The whole world's a stage and you're in the audience, and everything you see on the stage is fraudulent. Nothing you see before you is fact. Are you ready for your headline act? This act is truly one of a kind. They'll dazzle you and play tricks on your mind. An illusionist with billions of fans. Please welcome NASA. Put together your hands. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so lovely to see you again. Tonight we have a very special show. There's a few things we want you to know. Tonight we reveal some of our techniques. We'll expose NASA like WikiLeaks. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we'll show you how we fool the world. And when we're done exposing our lies, none of you are gonna realize, even though we're gonna tell you straight, it'll be too hard for you to contemplate. A trick so huge you won't believe, impossible for you to conceive. That's why we tell it, cause you'll reject it. A lie so big you can't accept it. No, you can't.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody hide. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake. We can't believe you fell for it, man. If you tell a lie big enough and frequently enough, it'll be believed.
See, there's a solid barrier we can't get through. It's called the firmament between me and you. Go check Word of Arm Bronze Headstone. He knew about that firmament dome. He left you all a little nodding awake. For those of you still able to think, Psalm 19:1, chapter and verse. The firmament shows his handiwork. That's why when our rockets leave the earth, they form a parabolic curve. We'll then switch over to an animation. Then it's over to your imagination. But I'm here to tell you that in reality, our rockets end up in a graveyard in the sea. Our launch pads are in coastal regions. We put them there for a very good reason. Yes, we do.
There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody hide. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
We'll know our disinformation campaign is complete when everything the American public believes is false. Yeah, rocket launches are occult rituals. They're there to brainwash these individuals, to make you think that space is real and your money and your mind we can steal. It's so easy to program your mind because you guys watch TV like all the time. We control what you see on your TV because we're a branch of the military. Yeah, we teamed up with those Disney guys. They help us propagate our lies. We make cartoons about space fantasies and put them on TV for all the kids to see. We program you when you're really young. We make space travel so much fun. Then all the kids fall into our trap and all grow up believing our crap.
They're called programs, man. There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody hide. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, space is fake.
And now it's over to our friends at Fake X for a short message.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
Thanks, Elon. What a genius.
Yeah, we go to Devon Island without robot cars, and we convince you we got a rover on Mars. What about the incredible ISS? Is all of that fake? Hell yes. Haven't you seen our harness mistakes? How many screw-ups is it gonna take? Haven't you noticed the bubbles in space? We film astronauts in pools, for God's sake. When are y'all gonna take the red pill and realize that none of this is real? Space travel is the biggest lie, and deceiving you makes us feel so satisfied. Our only mission is to brainwash you. You make it so easy for us to do, because nobody questions the authenticity, making you believe that space is so easy. Yeah, we love to convince you in infinite space. We love to put you in an insignificant place. Hiding the creator is what we do, beating the divinity right out of you. We don't want you to realize how special you are. We want you to think you came from a cosmic spark. We're secretly converting you to our religion, Satanism, scientism, atheism. Won't you join us? There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody hide. It's only your imagination that's been a space. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time. There's no such thing as outer space. We made it all up. Yeah, space is fake. It's the greatest lie that's ever been told. The biggest trick you've ever been sold. We've been pushing this satanic lie. Space is a drug and everybody hide. It's only your imagination that's been a space.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming. What a lovely audience. Make sure you research some of the things you've seen tonight. But I know you won't. You'll just go home, watch the news, and believe it all. Look what NASA did this week, son. Wow, that's so amazing, Dad. You idiots. Research bubbles in space. Research NASA lies. Research space is fake. For God's sake. Good night, everybody. You idiots. Thank you. Good night.
Just up Venus, which looks like a coin in a very shallow stream of water. But what really caught my eye was Sirius. made possible by microscopic photography. You can see that this crystal from distilled water bears a striking resemblance to the star Sirius.
The pitcher, steroid Santa Claus, kicks and deals. It's a long fly ball going back, and the ball shatters the sky, bringing the ocean itself down into the stadium. Oh, Simpson just broke this dream's reality wide.